We've been hearing about it for decades.
I think it's the best rivalry in college hockey.
Boston College and Boston University.
It's great that both teams are having success now.
Which is why the eyes of the college hockey world are ready for the upcoming battles between the two best teams in the country. College hockey. It's arguably the fastest, most exciting amateur sport on the planet. 60 teams in the NCAA nationwide occupy a spot in Division I.
And then back in, they score!
And this year, two of the best teams in the country live in our own backyard, Boston College and Boston University. The mention of these teams perhaps brings to mind the familiar faces who were front and center for decades. Perhaps it makes you think of the Beanpot. National titles? Each team has won it all 5 times in their storied histories. But all that said, in this episode, we're not looking back. It's all about the here and now.
Down low. Entry pass in front of the goal! Tuck gives the Terriers the lead on the power play. A little bit of space, quick shot, he scores!
After 2 straight sub-500 seasons, the BC Eagles found themselves ranked number 1 in college hockey as the new calendar year began. They get out of the gate with 7 wins in their first 8 games. Head coach Greg Brown was somewhat surprised at the fast start. His young team features 11 freshmen.
You never know exactly how quickly the freshmen will adapt and be able to contribute.
Those freshmen didn't take long at all to make an impact.
Only could nick it. Centered up, Will Smith, off the post, and in! Gabe Perreault turns it over right in front, they score! Ryan Leonard!
I think everyone knew the possibilities coming in. It could be endless, and I think at the start of the year, we obviously knew we had a good group of upperclassmen and underclassmen.
We're the youngest team in college hockey, so we don't know if it was going to work as well as we wanted right away, but I think coming in after a couple of games, we kind of knew that we had a really strong team.
We kind of have a perfect team on paper. It's just getting out there on the ice and we just showing it.
Just 4 miles away from Chestnut Hill are the Boston University Terriers.
D to D, wing, hit the D underneath in the middle.
Head coach Jay Pandolfo's club entered the season with a much different view than BC's. Defending Hockey East champs, a visit to the Frozen Four. It helped place the Terriers this year as the nation's top team in preseason polls.
We have 13 new players on our roster. That's a lot of new players. It's almost half a team.
The preseason hype didn't match their start. An overtime win against Bentley, then 2 straight losses, including a conference loss in New Hampshire.
I think we learned early that we're going to get the other team's best, and we have to give our best every night. That was a good learning lesson.
The Terriers apparently paid attention, winning 7 of 8 leading into the Christmas break.
Gallagher with a shot, save Brady, rebound, goal!
I knew we were going to be really special. Obviously, a lot of talent coming in, a lot of hardworking guys. I think it started in the summer being really a tight-knit group right from the get-go.
On Commonwealth Ave, another freshman is creating a stir. Not just locally, but one who most say will be the top pick in this year's NHL draft.
It's Macklin Celebrity. Got it back from Wilner and scores!
Oh, it's Macklin Celebrity with the redirect from Wilner.
There's not many skilled players who play the way he does, but also plays in the hard areas of the ice. He's going to go into a corner with 3 guys, and he'll come out with a puck.
Celebrity! For how young he is and what he's doing at this level is very impressive. He's very mature for a 17-year-old.
A Hobey Baker finalist a year ago, sophomore Lane Hudson anchors the defense.
I kind of picked up where I left off. Really comfortable. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to play every day.
And sophomores Jeremy Wilmer, Ryan Green, and Shane LaChance are also lending a hand.
Steven shoots low, LaChance rebound, he scores!
When pucks are going in and things are going well for you, it's easier to come to the rink, and it's a lot of fun.
But the young kids on each squad aren't the sole reasons for team success. Strong leadership on and off the ice.
Obviously a lot of experience being a 5th year and being around this league, so I think for me, leading by example, doing the right things off the ice, on the ice.
For the Eagles, the coveted C belongs to senior defenseman Eamon Powell.
I wouldn't say I'm the most outspoken, but when things need to be said, obviously I'll step up and say something.
He chooses his words wisely, and they're poignant, and the guys listen when he speaks.
When we return here on the Hockey Journal, more from the Eagles and Terriers, and we'll hear what it was like to play in the recently completed World Juniors Tournament in Sweden.
Being part of the history of USA Hockey at the World Junior Championships is really special in itself.
New England Hockey Journal's Rinkwise podcast, hosted by Stephanie Wood and me, Evan Marinovsky, is the hockey podcast for serious hockey players and their supporters to help guide them throughout their hockey careers with interviews and insight from some of the biggest names in the game. Download Rinkwise today wherever you get your podcasts or listen at hockeyjournal.com/podcast. New England Hockey Journal is brought to you by Bando Performance, using the latest scientific research to push athletes to reach their full potential.
Hi guys, Charlie Bando here with Bando Performance. Today I'm with Director of Hockey Operations, Bobby Butler. Bobby, great to have you on the show. Can you tell the viewers a little bit more about what you do here?
I'm in charge of everything synthetic and everything on the ice, and it's my job to get the kids on the ice, working hard and working on their skills, but we're lucky to have the synthetic ice up in the gym where they're allowed, where they can shoot the puck and kind of work on their game, whether it's younger guys just working on repetitions in their shot or older guys where they can work on quick release or some more aspects of in-game stuff that they run into.
That's great. Let's take a look.
Hit the net. On the synthetic ice, the big thing is quick release, getting that shot off and getting your head up. So I think it's good. It's a good chance to get lots of rep and try to get that perfection for when you hit the ice.
We have a girls organization as well. I know our girls organization is strongly embedded in our strength and conditioning program. Can you take us a little bit through what our girls, when they first come in the door, what they're experiencing, and then what we have to offer to them as they start to age?
Yeah, at the young age, they're coming in twice a week, working on their shot. I've seen huge development in that aspect. And they also get that gym once a week, which I think is huge at the young age, and then as we go U14, U16 and older. And I just think what we have is special, and I think the girls and the boys in this rink are lucky to have it.
I agree, right? Because it's all about development with these kids. They're on the ice with you during the off seasons. They're on the synthetic ice with you in season. I just think that it's a recipe for success.
Definitely, we have this coming summer. We're going to have lots of 3-on-3 along with skills. I think skills are very important in the summer, but to add in some 3-on-3 for the kids, it gets them excited to get through the skills, work on their game, and then use it right away and have an opportunity to really get better.
Bobby, thanks so much for the information. For those of you looking to learn more about what Bobby and Bando Performance have to offer, we have 3 locations in Woburn, Dedham, and Worcester, Massachusetts. You can also find us on our website, bando-performance.com.
It's somewhat uncommon for your big guns to be first or second year players, but such is the case for both BC and BU. For the Eagles, the trio of freshmen Will Smith, Ryan Leonard, and Gabe Perreault have made quite a splash. All 3 were first-round choices in last year's NHL draft. All played together with the U.S. National Team Development Program.
And right off the bat, U18s are scoring their first shot. It's Will Smith. Will Smith's first of the night, and his line mates Perreault and Leonard working with him. Leonard the goal, his 22nd of the year.
Familiarity. It's a huge help on the ice.
Everyone kind of knows pretty much what anybody's going to do at any given time. We're pretty predictable out there to each other, which is pretty good, honestly. You know what you're going to get out of everybody.
You know who you're going with or who's out there with you. It kind of makes everyone's job easy out there.
Certain plays we know what the other guy's going to do, and obviously that helps a lot. But we're still working on things and giving each other pointers about what we think the other guy can work on.
Another freshman who grabbed a starting role for the Eagles is goaltender Jacob Fowler. To date, he has started every game this season.
A lot of pride in that, to be the guy that's in there for a majority of the minutes and to kind of be that last line of defense. So super proud to be a part of this team and to have the group in front of me. They make it pretty easy for me.
Let's go, let's go! Nice!
Terriers freshman Macklin Celebrini this season headlines a balanced scoring attack for BU. A jump one day to the NHL is all but certain for the Vancouver native.
He's going to get it back in a dangerous spot, and he rattles the iron and burns the net.
Everybody says he's like Jonathan Toews, and I'm from Chicago. I watched Jonathan Toews my whole life, and he's a better version of Jonathan Toews, I would say.
I think he's a complete player, and in the draft this offseason, any team who gets him is really lucky.
One of the key things that Jay told us was we have the hardest schedule in college hockey, so you never know, and every night you got to bring it.
There's a big reason why he's potentially the #1 pick next year, and you see it not only with his talent, but his overall work ethic and what he puts into it.
Wow.
Jay Pandolfo has a front row seat to watch his Terriers in action.
That boy, Petey!
He's one of several who spent his college years playing at BU to later return as head coach.
You know, there's a sense of pride playing for Boston University and wearing that jersey, and guys that played here, you know, still want to be part of it, and if they ever have an opportunity to coach here, you're certainly not going to turn that down.
Go again, better timing, better timing.
Greg Brown took a similar path, a successful college career at the Heights. And like Pandolfo, there later came playing success in the pros, followed by various coaching gigs, ultimately landing back with his alma mater. His hope is that he's making a difference.
You want to help them become the hockey player that they dream of becoming, but also make growth off the ice too.
He doesn't raise his tone at all, and I like that he's related to a lot of players that way, and I think that's why he's in the position he's at today.
Next on the Journal, we head overseas. While most players left their teams and returned home for Christmas break for some leisure time, the World Juniors came calling. The cream of the crop headed overseas to Sweden. The Eagles skated 7 players for the USA, a record for one team, while 3 Terriers represented Team USA, Sweden, and Canada. The Americans were heavy favorites to take home the gold. They didn't disappoint.
Perot finds Will Smith.
Be with some of your brothers from school, it's just a pretty special moment.
The experience was so surreal. Every time you put the red, white, and blue on, you just want to do the best thing for your country.
Macklin was their best player at the tournament, by far. No one was close to him, in my opinion.
Lead pass for Celebrini. Macklin Celebrini in, Bittner's out. Celebrini scores! What a goal by Macklin Celebrini!
Before the game, I couldn't think about Tom. It was a huge game, and I know he was dialed in as well, but I knew he was a little upset, which, he played great, so not much he could be upset about.
Lekanomaki feeds it back to Wielander, and Wielander snaps it home. There's a one-timer and a goal!
Jimmy Snuggerud came into my defense, and then it felt like I had to get in there.
And this is going to do it. USA, gold medal winners.
When you win that gold medal, you're the best feeling in the world.
Standing there on that blue line, with those 7 BC guys and the rest of the group is something that I'll have that memory for the rest of my life.
It was a pretty speechless moment over there, and it was a great time.
And Gabe Perot comes free. Perot scores! Chance at a goal. LeChance slipped it through.
With the World Juniors in the rear view, it's back to the task at hand. Both teams were solid in the first half, but the schedule the rest of the way is heavy, and there are no guarantees.
We're excited about how the first half went. We didn't shoot ourselves in the foot. We don't have to play catch up, but we also know we have to make a couple big steps forward if we're going to try and have success at the end of the year.
Every team is good in Hockey East, and you can't take it for granted. It's like playoff hockey every game.
Quinn Hudson a little bit behind Celebrini. Chips on the feed for the goal. It's Tuck with a redirection.
It's tough not to look ahead. The Terriers remember last season when they came so close for a chance at the national title.
We had enough guys in that position at the Frozen Four last year where, we can drag, our new guys with us, and they're going to understand how important it is.
And each team knows what's at stake, both locally and nationally. Eyes on the prize, while trying as best as possible to stay in the moment.
I think right now we're just going into every game and every practice just trying to get better and focus on that rather than look any further.
Yeah, we don't talk about down the line too much. We really try and look at very small bars right in front of us. You know, we have to get better today to be ready for this weekend. And you know, if we have a good weekend, then we have to move and get better for the weekend after that. It's really just slow, incremental steps.
Everybody knows that they got to be a little bit tighter now and a little bit more disciplined with everything you do.
Obviously, it's there, all the trophies and things like that. But what our coaching staff has done a really good job of, and what we've kind of bought into in the locker room is, like I said, keeping it one day at a time, 1 week at a time, one opponent at a time, and just staying present.
If you take responsibility for yourself in every single play that you can control, it'll help for the better of the team and help us win games going down the stretch.
This is when games mean a little bit more than the first half, and every single game counts, and you just can't take any opponent lightly, like you mentioned, with every single team being hard to play against. I definitely didn't come to Hockey East to have any easy games, and that's why I came out here.
And for all these important second half games, each team thoroughly enjoys playing them in front of their passionate home fans.
Everyone said they've never seen it this building this hopping like every night.
Smith with space, a shot, score!
The students have been just amazing. We couldn't be happier to play in front of them and just try to win as many games as we can for them.
The students and the fans that show up for it it's amazing. There's a buzz in the stands, and anytime you touch a puck, you swear it's going to be like a stampede coming down the rink.
This year, the fans have been second to none. I mean, every single game, there's thousands of people screaming and cheering for us, and we really vibe off that energy that they're giving us. And so far it's working. So the more and more they come out, the more and more we're going to play hard for them. And it's been a fun ride so far.
The fan base, the history of the school, it's obviously. There's not many schools like it.
Anytime you're at the rink or on campus, you just got to look around sometimes and say, how lucky am I?
The student body's been amazing. I think everybody's seen it this year. The students have been talking a lot more. They're filling this place every single night. It's just with themes, everything. They're really engaged in all of our winnings, and we thank it all to them.
Playing here for now 5 years, having a lot of college hockey experience, there's still a special moment, getting goosebumps hearing the band playing when you step on the ice for any game. The crowd really makes it special. The fans make it special. The people around BU who are supporting us is what makes this a very special place.
Red Sox, Yankees, Bruins, Canadians, BCBU.
This rivalry has been unbelievable each and every year. It doesn't, like you said, it doesn't matter who's ranked where. You can kind of throw the rankings out the door when you play this team.
At this point in the college hockey season, there is much at stake. Critical conference matches the rest of the way. No easy games. And as winter turns to spring and trophies and championships may be on the mind, there is one more immediate goal for these two teams: to beat the other.
You can't like those guys. You aren't allowed to just because of history.
I don't think it gets much bigger than BU-BC, let alone BU-BC in the Bean Pot.
Alex Tuck into the offensive zone, he scores!
When my brother was at BC, I was 12 or 13, and I always joked with him, I'm going to go to BU, I'm going to go to BU, I'm rooting for BU.
There it is, in front of the goal! Tuck!
Two schools that are this close in proximity, it makes it a lot of fun.
It's kind of games everyone kind of circles on their calendars.
Anytime you play BU, it's definitely a chippy, it's definitely a hard, physical game.
It's gonna be crazy.
Great team, we have a lot of respect for them, and but when that puck drops, we're gonna be ready to go, and they're gonna be ready to go. So we know going into it's gonna be a battle.
It's just one of those things that it's like a mutual hate-respect type thing between the two schools. Obviously, a long history of being top programs in the country.
Wilmer, to Kaplan, he scores!
Malinowski comes in, pass over Poisson, his shot is stopped by Fowler.
Came here to win, that's flat out and simple.
Here's Ryan Leonard off the turnover, Waits gets it across, they score another. Leonard with the patience, and Smith with his second of the night.
I think it's the best rivalry in college hockey, and it's awesome that both teams are having a good year this year. I think it just makes it that much better.
He flew back with the Boston College guys, which kind of sucks, but
there is nothing like BU-BC. This one is special.
Still loose, they score! And Boston College breaks the ice on the power play.
Hudson takes it himself. First save made, rebound loose. Hudson, they score!
It's an exciting time for college hockey in Boston.
They got a lot of firepower over there, and beyond that, they have a lot of good players as well. So it's going to be a great matchup. It's fun. This is kind of what it's all about.
Really, the rivalry doesn't matter who's having a good year or a bad year. There's an intensity in those games that both teams are, really determined to win.
Nestorenko to the middle, they score! Luke Tuck scores! And there's your exclamation point.
Boston is such a good sports city, so you think about the BU-BC rivalry first. You're like, wow, I want to play in that game. It's amazing. It's amazing tradition, and the compete is high and unbelievable. So, games like that, if you can't get up for, then I think you got a serious problem.
I think college hockey is better when both of us are really good teams, for sure.
Hudson looking for space, he scores! What a wrist shot, top corner for Quinn Hudson on the power play.
It's always going to be a battle. It's always going to be a close game with a great atmosphere of fans and students.
It's one of the biggest rivalries in college hockey, and just the atmosphere wherever it is just absolutely crazy. It's nothing like I've ever played in before.
We're excited for the challenge.
New England Hockey Journal is brought to you by Bando Performance, using the latest scientific research to push athletes to reach their full potential.